As someone who enjoys learning languages, I often forget that I get to choose which accent I can learn. For example, for Spanish, you could be learning neutral Spanish or find the Dominican accent really attractive and you want to learn that one. We have that freedom as language learners. English is my second language, but as you can tell, I speak with a British accent because I've been living here in the outskirts of London for about 11 years now, and so that's just the accent that I was hearing every day and that I am now speaking with. So after receiving this comment from one of you, wanting to know how you can speak English with a British accent, which I think is the best accent, I've decided to give you guys some tips and yeah, just try to help you guys out. And when I talk to you guys about the British accent, I mean the London accent, not the Liverpool, Manchester, or the London British accent. But even within Britain and within the United Kingdom, there is such a diversity of accents, and I find that really cool. I made some notes because I had to research some tips for you guys on WikiHow, because even though I do have some tips of my own, I wanted to see what was out there. So my first one, and this is going to apply if you're learning any language, is talking with natives. The only reason I speak this way is because every day since the age of 8, I was around British speaking people. And the first couple months, I just had headaches because I wasn't understanding what they were saying. But being around them forced me to speak like them. First of all, for survival, but also because that's just the accent that I was hearing every day. So talking with natives, there are numerous ways you can do this. First, go to the country. It might not be the easiest and the most affordable way to do this. So you could get a tutor online through sites like italki or Preply or anything. You could even have me as a tutor. I'm going to start giving English tutoring online in November. But really have somebody that you can just have conversations with. So yeah, talking with natives that speak with the accent you want to learn, and this applies to any language, Spanish, Italian, any language. Talking with natives that speak with the accent you want to learn is going to be my first and probably one of my best tips. Secondly, more specific to British English, don't roll your R's. So in French, when we say words that have an R, we won't really roll them like r. We'll have them at the back of our throat, like r, réessayer or recharger. It's like we're like spitting. Or in Spanish and Italian, there's a tendency to roll your R's when you're speaking English because that's how you do it in your native language. But in English, we don't really roll the R's. For example, starter, not starter. Beginner, it's not beginner. You see, there's no rolling of the R, it's just sound. I'm just gonna say, maybe go over the British alphabet, like the British way to say individual letters. I'll tell you why, because for example, in French, the letter I in English is said I in French. Whereas the letter E in English is said E in French. So it can confuse you when letters that are basically from the same alphabet that have different sounds, you can mix them up in your native language and British English. Another example would be the letter A. You say A in the British English alphabet, but in French, for example, you'd say A because the French alphabet goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, blah, 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 blah. So for a word like data, if you're used to your native alphabet, let's say it's French, you might say data as data, which doesn't sound as British as you can make it. So yeah, go over the British English way of saying individual letters, find ways to stick the sounds into your brain, whether it's conversationally with a tutor or conversationally with a friend through voice notes or reading. But obviously it's helpful to have somebody that speaks it the way you're aiming to speak it at so that they can like correct you so you can improve. Okay, another letter that I found on WikiHow is the letter U. In a lot of Latin-based languages like Italian and Spanish, the letter U would be said U. So for the word duty, if Spanish or Italian is your native language, you might say duty. So again, running that point home about learning the British way of saying the alphabet, it wouldn't be duty, it would be duty, like you. Also, one thing I think differentiates the American accent and the British accent is that we pronounce our T's, depends who, not if you're Central C or someone, but we pronounce our T's a bit more. For example, duty, tidy. So if you have the tendency to kind of make that a soft sound when you're speaking, the letter T, maybe try to add more emphasis on it, like duty, tidy, together, templates, taxes. You see, there's a bit more of a, it's more neat. Neat. Yeah, I'm not going to make this video really long because the main things for me, your 2 takeaway points should be talk with natives, whether it's a tutor or a friend or someone you meet at a language exchange. You know, on apps like Meetup and things like that, they have language exchanges. So you can just go into a chat room online and just speak with people from all over the world. And the second one would be to find a way to really ingrain the sound of the individual letters into your brain. So listen to the alphabet said with a British accent and just memorize what those letters sound like, and then put that into practice through reading, though maybe read with somebody that has that accent so they can correct you on certain words if you pronounce them wrong, or talking with somebody. But yeah, I might even film a video of myself saying the alphabet with a British accent and maybe all the variations of how letters or a combination of letters are said. Yeah, like a phonetics video, a British English phonetics video. I'm going to do that. If you're looking to get tutored, I am going to start tutoring English in November. However, if you're interested, you can fill in a questionnaire, a Google Forms doc that I've linked under this video in the description box. To let me know you're interested, and we can get on a quick call together to see what your language learning goals are and check availabilities and everything. And for the first 2 people who fill in that questionnaire, you'll get a free hour of tutoring with me, English tutoring. If you filled in that form, then you're one of those 2 first people, but then you realize you don't want to do it anymore, it will just go to the next person in line. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. You can DM me on Instagram. My DMs are open, or leave a comment under any one of my videos. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.